Welcome to Experiencing Consciousness. My name is Dyba.
And I'm Dr. Kathryn Rossi. We're happy you're here.
Hi everyone, today we're here with Dr. Kathryn Rossi. My name is Dyba, and we're here today for you with another episode of our podcast. We're going to be talking today about comfort, right?
Absolutely.
Great. So the basic question, what is comfort? What is it actually?
Well, comfort is going to be subjective to each person. And how you view your life, what's important to you, what you focus on is what you're likely to manifest. And so many people, when they think about their life, they're going to that it's difficult. They're going to it's a problem, that I'm traumatized, this sort of thing. So I like to encourage people to go to the other side of that. You can have simultaneously, trauma on the one hand, but experiencing a bit of comfort on the other. And this is nature's greatest gift. It's up for us to recognize it.
Mm-hmm. So what you're saying is that even in the most difficult times, there is somewhere in us, in the body or somewhere inside, a part that may feel a bit different, like still being in a comfort.
Yes, what I'm saying is that it's possible. When you think about a common thing people say is, I just want to be grounded. I want to feel a steadiness in myself. And as I say, each person develops their own definition of what's comfortable to them. Mm-hmm. But to be able to go into that is extremely important. Now, Donald Hebb is the guy that said that neurons that fire together wire together. Mm-hmm. And that, I think it was in something like 1948 or somewhere thereabouts. It was in the 40s that he said this. And it's that how you focus your mind is what you're going to end up manifesting. So why not look for what you really want? And there's very few people that don't want to be comfortable.
Yeah, I think I can agree with that. I'm just thinking about, can you provide us with an illustration of maybe some case from your own practice of a person that came to you in like difficult state and you helped them somehow to, figure out or find out that comfort within themselves, so that people that are actually listening to us right now could have a better understanding of the process and how it actually...
Oh, absolutely. Well, it's something that Ernest Rossi, my husband, was really good at, and also Milton Erickson was really good at this too, that within the excitation. So here a person they come in to see you because they're puzzling through something. They might be crying, they might be angry, they might be confused. And that they're so into this excitation that they kind of become clouded a little bit. It's like a little bit too single focused. So what Ernie discovered is that there are fail-safe ways of working with people. Now, what do I mean by fail-safe? It means that everybody's going to be safe and nobody is going to fail. The therapist is going to be successful. The client is going to be successful. And when you set this up, the first person that needs to feel comfort is the therapist. Mm-hmm. To not be anxious about what am I going to do, what's going on, how am I going to orchestrate all of this. And so for the therapist to realize and to elicit even comfort within that client. So when a person is really active, I'll say things like, well, that's wonderful. keep that going, keep going, that you're really going into the heart of the problem. Is there one part of you where you can, by way of contrast, experience comfort? Now they look at you like you're out of your mind. It's like, no, doctor, you don't understand. I'm really uncomfortable. This is horrible, this thing that happened to me and that I'm puzzling through. And it's like, yes, I understand, but is there some place, like maybe it's in this part of your finger, I don't know. Maybe it's in the lobe of your ear, I don't know. But just see if you can find that. And it can be very difficult for people in that moment. But I've never found anyone that couldn't find that small place where they felt comfortable. And then I know that they have a safe place to go. And then I'll often encourage, maybe for a moment you can see, does that expand? Does that travel anyplace else in your body? And you might hear, nope, it's just there, that's it. It's like, wonderful. Because you know that you have that grounding where no matter what happens, you can bring them back to a place of equanimity. Does this make sense to you, Jan?
Yeah. I'm thinking, what comes to my mind, a part of February Man, where at first, before going on this difficult journey in a regression state, for people who doesn't know what February Man is, it was an intervention utilizing hypnotic regression, where Dr. Erickson would put people into a trance and move them back to the difficult parts of their childhood and kind of relive with them the experiences, altering it a bit by introducing himself as a February Man, a kind person that would give them corrective experiences. That's actually very short description of that. We may develop that further in some other podcasts, but
absolutely, it's fascinating.
Yeah, exactly. But what came to my mind was something that he actually did. Before going into those difficult moments, he would put a person in a trance and regress. That was actually the case. The actual case example was a lady, and he would put her into a trance and regress her to a place of their previous session, and alter a bit some parts of the session, so he created a place where she knew him, and then there was this part where he was holding her hand, and so he kind of attached those feelings and all this climate of working with him and stuff to that gesture, so that he would then have that kind of behavioral anchor when they would go deeper into a trance, and if there was a risk that she would go very deep into something unpleasant and he would lost the rapport with her, then he could touch her on the hand and fire the anchor, and that would be the message that says, I'm here with you and we're working on something, and that's the important part where I say something to you that's actually important. So he will, in a way, that was also, I built that association because that was also, in a way, creating a comfort within a client that would enable them to safely pass through difficult moments in a therapy, right?
Yes, I think that's a really interesting take on the February Man that I like very, very much, Jan. And so the comfort can be, between the therapist and the client, and it can also be the comfort within the client themselves. And it's really important to understand the biology of what it is to be human. And what it is to be human is nature will put you into a place of rest, and that place of rest is comfortable. And so whatever trauma or experience that one has, it almost never exceeds 90 minutes before your body will go into a rest. But you have to recognize it. And so this is what we can help people do. This is what we can help our clients do, is to recognize when they're in a rest, and to even enhance their comfort at the time.
Yeah, and that could be a great topic for another podcast. And we can, fluently move from the idea of comfort as an idea per se to its biological underpinnings and foundations.
Yes, I mean, the beautiful aspect of the things that we're talking about, Jan, is that there's all these tentacles into so many other realms, of consciousness. And our job really is to help expanding consciousness for people that are listening to us.
Yeah.
And I think that becomes really important. Mm-hmm. Now, I will tell you that what Ernest would say about Erickson is that was the word he heard the most from him, is the word comfort. And in thinking back to what's the word that I heard the most from Ernest, well, it was comfort. He really valued comfort, and he valued it in himself. And is that comfort comes after a job well done. Mm-hmm. And so it's not that you're going to be comfortable all the time. That sometimes when you're in the heart of the matter, obviously you're not going to be comfortable, but having that anchor that you can go back and forth to, so that you have that 100% confidence that after you face whatever it is that you really need to face, that you can go into a rest, you can go into a comfort, you can have a break before you begin again.
Yeah, and gain some strength with it, and load your batteries, right?
Well, that, and you do so much in one session, and then you come back and there's another set, and it's something that is incredibly beautiful. And I will say one other really important element about comfort, and that is that the burden of responsibility, as Erickson wrote in the seminal paper, the burden of responsibility for effective therapy is actually on the client. And so that I am a huge facilitator of therapist comfort. And how you do that is that you're not solving the problem for the person. Mm-hmm. You're helping to move them in the direction where they can discover their own solutions.
Yeah, and I think that's the great summary of that part of our podcast, of that episode. It was great talking to you today about the comfort and about many kinds of comfort. And I think we're going to be developing that part as well in many other episodes, but the next one probably going to be the psychobiological foundations of that comfort and of how to facilitate that through natural mind-body rhythms. Am I correct?
That sounds wonderful, and thank you so much. It's always a pleasure.
Great. So till next time then, and we invite all of you listening to go and listen to our future podcasts as well. This was another episode of our Experiencing Consciousness podcast. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Jan. You're the best. Be well, be happy, celebrate life.